So, I like to talk to you and I like to hear your opinion because we have live chat and you can talk to me, talk to Coach Bonnie. Hello, welcome.
Hi, how are you?
I'm
Thank you
good.
for
Thank
giving me another chance to be with you this evening, to be with you, your audience, and your viewers. Glad to be with you, Amir.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure, Coach Bonnie. Coach Bonnie Sadigh from Los Angeles. So, what's going on with us? It's very chaotic situation. It started with protests and uh, then every day goes with anger and what's going on.
It's from the 40 years that I've been here, I've never experienced anything like this. Um, it's not to say that racism and discrimination wasn't part of, uh, unfortunately, the American history. It's been always there, starting from slavery. And through the years, the pleas of the Black people, um, their voices was not heard. They were never treated as equal to us, and these painful sufferings has been traveling with them as a baggage year after year, generation after generation. And finally it comes to a point that you can't take it anymore. And as us as white people, we sympathize, we empathize, but we can never really understand the pain they are experiencing. We're witnessing the pain, but we're not experiencing their pain. So it's very different when we say we understand. We truly don't understand their pain. So, and I am all for the peaceful protest. Yet the looting and the riots have no place in our society. Yet still, it's understandable why it is happening. When you have been suffocating, when you have been suffering for so long, when you have been putting your rage and frustration inside of you for so long, and your voices hadn't been heard, there is no way but to react, and this is the way they're reacting. This is the way. It's like a child that is throwing a tantrum. It's they are saying that enough is enough, and this is the way that they are showing their anger, their frustration, their being fed up. Recently, there was a study done in Boston University, I believe, with a professor called um, Jacob Bohr. He did a study on unarmed African American people that have been killed and murdered. And the aftermath or the trauma or the PTSD that remained not only to their immediate families, but it extended to the whole community. What that means is that when an unarmed black man dies, gets murdered, not only the immediate family gets are feeling the suffering and the pain and the agony, but it travels to the whole community. And what happens as a result of this trauma? It gets instilled in you that I'm not good enough. Imagine you are a young um, black boy being raised in this environment, in this energy, in this dynamic. What happens is that you carry this negativity within you. I'm not good enough. I'm not valued enough. I'm not the same as others. I have to fear for my life. I don't know if I go out, I'll be back alive to see my family again. So, all of these traumas are being carried throughout your life. And when we say we don't understand this pain and this agony that Black Americans are going through, we really don't understand. And what happens as a result of this trauma, mental distress, mental illnesses arises, emotional and mental distress. What happens because of that? then biologically they become uh, ill and diseases arises from that. How does that work? So when you are mentally weakened, when you are emotionally in distress, your body and your immune system collapses, gets compromised. You are more susceptible to inflammation, to diabetes, to hypertension and blood pressure, to heart disease. So it's a vicious cycle that goes around in their lives that we are completely, totally unaware of. And when the new research came out that Black Americans are more susceptible to COVID 19, that could be one reason because of all these emotional and mental stresses that finally shows up in their but in biologically in their physical physiology, and therefore their immune system gets compromised. So living as a Black person in America, unfortunately, has become very scary. And um, I'm not sure what we can do as a society except to peacefully speak up, be kind, be generous, be genuine, be authentic, and be compassionate and empathetic, trying to understand what is going on in their lives. Today, most of fellow Instagrammers put up a black square on their profile picture as a solidarity to say that I am muted because I accept that I never understand the pain that you're going through. I am here, I am listening, I want to learn, I want to hear your pain, and I really truly want to understand. And another message is giving is that I love you, I hear you, I'm sorry, I apologize if I was insensitive to your pain. So that's what's going on, and I'm hoping that little by little, this riots and looting gets less and less, and we can truly hear the voices of these peaceful protesters and what they want. Now,
Peaceful?
another thing that I want to mention is that without becoming political, at the time of unease, at the time of crisis, which we are collectively witnessing in our nation, leaders have power. Leaders can lead you, can calm you, can um, put water on fire, and with their action, with their words, they can have a calming and empowering voice. Unfortunately, that's not what we're hearing, and I think the more the leadership stays quiet and doesn't acknowledge, doesn't empathize with these people, with all of us actually, the more rage these people that we all are feeling, and the more quiet the leadership stays, the more we hear the the riots and the looting and the outrage and the frustration coming out. We need, as a nation, here some uniting words, some calming words that, yes, I hear you. I feel your pain. I may never understand, but I'm here to give a supporting hand. We are doing everything so that justice can be prevailed. But unfortunately, we're not hearing that.
I hear you, but you said peaceful protests. It wasn't peaceful. It was lots of crime, and it was
Yes,
lots of anger and crime, and looks like it was an organization behind this story. Still, they are working. FBI and you know police department is still working on it.
Amir,
Uh,
I am having a very hard time hearing you. The volume is very low. I'm not sure if you can do anything on your side.
can you hear me better?
Yes.
So let me see. Looks like okay. I'm
So what I
so
heard from you is that the protest wasn't peaceful. Yes. As
yeah.
I
It's
mentioned
lots of
before,
crime. Yeah, it was lots of crime.
yes. I'm not. I don't know what is going on because we're not even getting the correct reporting. I've heard that there are some instigators inside the um, peaceful protesters, and they're not actually have anything to do with the protesters. And see, in any given situation, good or bad, some opportunistic people come and take advantage of the cause. And this is
Mm-hmm.
unfortunate. Uh,
Exactly.
very, very unfortunate. I'm not justifying the looting, I'm not justifying the riots, but I want to bring up a point that to understand where the frustration, where the anger comes from. When for
What about
years
this
and years,
frustration? Sorry, what's this frustration? This frustration is about quarantine time and uh, 2 months stay home. Uh, what
all
about
of
that?
the above, all
Okay,
of the above.
yeah, it's not about
The
just. It's not about the racism.
definitely the pandemic has something to do with it, but more than that, it's when you have been quiet down, when you've been suppressed, your emotions have been suppressed, when you have
Mm-hmm.
been um, not given a voice, or you've been given a inferior voice for
Mm-hmm.
generation after generation, when you've been told that you're not like me, you cannot be as good as me, or you are. See, Amir, all of us, most of us, 99.9% of us, we claim that we're not racist, we don't discriminate. Consciously, we are unbiased, but subconsciously, we're biased. What that means is that uh, I know racism is wrong. I know discrimination is wrong. And I voice it out. I say that I'm not racist. And I say that I'm not discriminating. Yet, subconsciously, the way I was brought up, the way I was raised, the things that I heard growing up, whether through social TV or social platforms, my religious groups, my culture, my parents, whoever it was that it was an influence on to me. Those are the values that are deeply instilled in me at the subconscious level. I say that I'm not, but the way I act and I behave and sometimes say things shows a different picture. The story is different. So, and Black people hear this, they feel this, they see this on a day to day basis. And when you've been discriminated against so much, that hatred, that pain, that suffering that is inside of you, it's like uh, what is that? The pot that has the thing, I forgot the name. It eventually explodes.
Okay.
Somehow it comes out. So these angers, and again, I'm not justifying it, but I can understand where it comes from.
So
There was,
as a life coach, and you're expert, and what do you think? What's the best
first and foremost, I think,
responsible act? Because the family of the Mr. George, Floyd, they said we are peaceful family, we don't accept this, and because they don't like to see that. Lots of
yes,
crime. 95, 98% of this activity is not peaceful, is not real protests.
true.
Uh, so, as a
So the
life coach.
immediate thing that we can do, keep on doing the peaceful protest. Yesterday, I saw on the news that the protesters were
Hmm.
actually handing out the looters into the police. So, as a peaceful protesters, when we see the lootings, when we see the riots, if we can separate ourselves from them and have the police take care of the looters and um, the rioters. That's one thing that we can do. And leave our platform open to hear discussions, to hear what really what Black people need from us. What is it that we can do? So really, with all of our heart, listening, learning, and doing what we can to change the system. You see, the systematic racism that exists in the United States needs to change. And on a deeper level, what we can do, the Black community, the male Black community, the younger generation, is in dire need of mental health support. They are the most people that need this support and help. And they are the least people that are getting access to mental health. So making mental health services accessible to communities that are in dire need, communities that are suffering from traumas, from PTSDs, making them having a system that from a very early age in schools we teach our all of our kids, white, black, yellow, green, purple, brown, the the compassion that needs to be in all of us. So it needs, the whole system needs a revamping, from our school system, from our education system. Unfortunately, we are very divided in how we treat a white child from a black child, and that needs to change
Okay, but
systematically.
takes time. That takes time. But
Absolutely.
now we are here, in this moment, in this day, and we want to know what's the best, respond to this situation. Uh, each one of us, I am here. What can I do? Yes, I understand. I totally agree with the definitely I have a compassion. Let's be together and understand each other. But uh, how we can stop all of this crime, because this crime is not a real protest. It's a different things. It looks like and I heard different things in the politics, things. Some people that are against President Trump, they are doing this. We heard lots of things
The
now.
conspiracy theories are endless. I mean,
Okay,
if you talk to someone that is from the left or talk to someone that is from the right, they have
exactly,
two different, completely different views on what is going on and what needs to be done. What
exactly.
needs to be done immediately is to separate the looters and rioters from the peaceful protesters, allow the peaceful protesters to speak up, to walk hand in hand in peace and in harmony and in calm, and let their voices be heard. And we need to hear from our leaders. It's we are like a child that needs to hear his or her parents to say, I love you, I understand you, I feel for you. That's it. We are in that moment that we need to hear someone in leadership to say that yes, we are going to change our police, the way they are trained, the trainings. So something from the leadership needs to come and calm us down, and in immediate action that needs to be taken. The other three officers need to be charged and arrested.
Okay.
And I mean, not much we can do on this until we see what unfolds. And every one of us as individuals needs to um, be a little bit more
Disconnected. Yeah, it was an alarm from
yes.
government. Yes, and probably in the next few seconds we're gonna receive another alarm from LAPD.
All
So
of
and
us need to very make it very quickly. All of us need to really do our best to understand what our fellow Black brothers and sisters are going through. What it is that, ask them, what is it that we can do? How can we show solidarity? What can we do to say that we are with you, we are one? They need to hear our voices. They need to hear that we care, we love them, we appreciate them. We are not better than them. We are equal to them. So the repetitions of them hearing uh, our compassion, our empathy.
Right. I agree. Thank you so much for your time. And as usual, I really enjoy talking to you and hope to see you soon.
Thank you, and hoping for peaceful days ahead and justice.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.